I apologize at the beginning of this Mass, having thought about the fact that we very likely have a lot of guests here with us, that I did not first introduce myself and welcome you here to St. Mark. So my name is Father Tim Wichaskala for all of our guests. And again, I want to welcome you to our church here at St. Mark as we celebrate our 8th grade class. An 8th grade class which has seen a very different, very strange 8th grade year from our norm, given all that we had to deal with, especially with the pandemic. But nonetheless, an 8th grade class which has come to this day, despite all of that, and comes joyfully and ready to graduate from grade school, graduate from this place, and then go on to the next phase of their lives, to high school. And so today I want to talk just a little bit about what we would like to leave you with as you leave St. Mark to our 8th graders. And especially if there's anything in your time here, if it was 9 years all the way from pre-K up, or if it was any time in between, if there's one thing that we would very much like for you to take with you, it is given to us, it is explained to us in this gospel that we just heard today. The gospel that we refer to as the judgment of the nations. I was thinking about this not too long ago. I was riding in my car and listening to the radio, and a song came on from a man who was very popular when your grandparents were younger. Very popular to your grandparents' generation. I honestly don't know why, because he really is not able to sing. He has a terrible voice, but his name is Bob Dylan. And this song was a song that he wrote when he very famously converted to Christianity. He was born a Jewish person in Minnesota, and then later in his life, once he was already famous, once everyone in the world knew who Bob Dylan was, he became a Christian, and he wrote an album and a song to commemorate that. And the song was called "You've Got to Serve Somebody." And the whole point of this song is that no matter what you do in this life, and every action that you take in some way is in service to someone. And the whole point of the song, again, is that he would encourage you to serve the Lord. The very thesis of the song is it might be the devil or it might be the Lord, but you have to serve someone. There's no getting around that in this life. When he converted to Christianity and wrote this song, there was another very famous person to your grandparents' generation named John Lennon who wrote a song in response to this. John Lennon's song in response to "You Got to Serve Someone" was "You Have to Serve Somebody" was a song called "Serve Yourself." You can see he was sort of a cynical person and did not necessarily approve of Bob Dylan suddenly becoming a Christian. Serve yourself. It would seem, 8th graders, that our world has sided with John Lennon when it comes to this question. If you have to serve somebody, who should you serve? Yourself. What's the most important thing that we're taught in our culture that we can do? We can serve ourselves. We can be happy, we can be rich, we can be powerful, we can be popular in the world's eyes. We can do everything we can so that we have a wonderful, comfortable, happy life, and we do anything we can to get to that point, to serve ourselves, and everything is for our own gain. Well, here's the irony of things. Every time we try and do nothing but serve ourselves, we are actually serving someone. Just like Bob Dylan says in the song, you can serve the devil or you can serve the Lord, but you have to serve one or the other. You have to serve somebody. And when we try and serve ourselves, if we only think about what we can do for ourselves, the irony of it is the opposite ends up happening. We don't become happy, we don't become joyful, we don't live a life that is fulfilling. Because we strive and strive for something, for a goal which is more and more empty. If you think about what this gospel just told us today, it reverses a question that we very often like to ask God. An understandable question. If God is all loving, if God is all powerful, if He created everything and guides everything, then why is there so much suffering in the world? Why is there poverty in the world? Why do people go hungry in the world? Why is there hatred in the world? Why does God allow all these things to happen in the world? That might be a question that we very often ask in our prayer or wonder about when it comes to God. The gospel today tells us that on Judgment Day, that question is reversed. There is so much need in this world. There is hunger. There is so much that can be done. Why did you allow such things to happen? What was it that you did to alleviate the suffering of others, to help those in need, to reach out so that others can live a more dignified life because of you? How is it that you allowed me to work through you? Or where was it that you did not allow me to work through you? That is the question that is asked in this gospel. Because the reality is you have to serve someone. No matter what it is you do in this life, you can work towards the goal of serving God, the goal of serving others and letting God work through you, or the goal of self-destruction, of only thinking about serving yourself. And if there's anything that we want you to take from St. Mark, is that a life worth living is a life lived in service for others. To put others before yourself, to serve God, and in doing so, to serve His creation, so that the world can be a better place because you lived in it. That is the glory of our Catholic education. Of course, we imparted on you the best education we could when it comes to math and science and English, history, the arts. All of those things we do here, as you know, very, very well. Giving you a top-notch education to give you all that you need academically in the years to come. But even more important than that is the spiritual formation that we hope we were able to give to you here at this school. So that when people encounter you, when people come to meet you, they know that God's light shines forth through you. And they know that you are a person who is dedicated to serving others, serving the world, and in doing so, serving God. That is where our happiness comes from. The reality is, only there is where we truly find true happiness and true joy. And so as you go forth, 8th graders, keeping this in mind, I hope always in your heart you keep a place for St. Mark, for your grade school. We only really go through grade school once, and you'll always remember the years you had here, however many there were, the friendships you've made, the bonds you've formed, and the growth that you underwent. And no matter where you find yourself in high school, in college, or beyond, anywhere that you find yourself in your life after this, I hope you always realize that you have a home here at St. Mark, a spiritual home in this church, in the church which, as our ministry of the school, has given you this formation in all these years. So congratulations on your graduation, and may God be with you in the years to come.